Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Flightsimguy, and this is the first of three videos that I'm publishing where BEl Geode took me under his wing to give me some training with regards to flying the Su-25T, doing air-to-ground attack missions. So what we did was BEl Geode did me a big favor, and he put together a basic, mission where it's a multiplayer, myself and him, and he went ahead and put some targets out there at another airport that wouldn't shoot back, and essentially we just took off in our Su-25Ts and did some attack runs. Now, what I'm going to share with you is essentially the video that we captured, and I'm leaving everything in, and I'm thinking that some of the stuff that we go over can be useful for some of you who are out there and you want to start flying missions in DCS. This is DCS 1.5, and the attack missions, or the air-to-ground missions that we're conducting, very, very simple, very, very rudimentary. We had fuel air bombs, the gun, and the Vicker, and essentially we were just, doing some passes, trying to shoot stuff up. Now, sounds simple enough, but this particular plane is very, very difficult to fly, and that's where I had most of my challenges, keeping the plane level so that I can do my my bomb runs. But I think it worked out pretty good. I've already posted the landings, so being able to actually take off, do the runs, and land without crashing, I thought wasn't too bad for my first time around. I'm going to go ahead and post the mission file in case some of you want to go ahead and try playing this yourself. And we had a lot of fun. So with that, I'll go ahead and quit yapping, and let's watch the video. First of all, trying to figure out here what level of zoom do I want. There's no way I can tell. All right, so where are we? Are we at the airport?
We are at the airport at the south side of the map. This is Batumi, which is the southernmost airport in Georgia, just north of Turkey.
Got it. All right, I see both of us. All right, there we are. All right, so that's the map. All right, where's our spotter?
If you zoom all the way out, just use your scroll wheel. And you'll see there's a big, huge clump of targets over by where it says Koboleti.
Got it.
Just north of there.
Got it.
Zoom in. The south side of the airport is all targets. The north side of the airport is our friendly. So you can just simply click on him.
Got it.
And in the lower left corner, it should say USA friendly spotter, blah, blah, blah.
Got it.
Now, from this screen, hit F7.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click him, hit F7, and there he is.
Yep. And you can now move the camera around, either using your mouse or your regular hat button.
Got it. Yeah. And
so now you can see he's got ringside seats to the airport. He can see whatever we decide to blow up.
Got it. Okay. To go back to the map.
Also set to immortal, just in case we accidentally drop
so we blow him up. Yeah. I'll probably do that.
All right. Now to get back to our cockpit, use the second hat button, the top hat button, and put it to the 6 o'clock position.
Or I could hit F1.
Or you can hit F1.
All right. Now, so hang on. Before we go back to the cockpit, let's go over the flight plan here. All right. So we are at Koboleti or whatever.
No, we're at Batumi.
Batumi, I'm sorry. So we're going to take off, and we're going to fly north, follow the coast, and then we're going to, so then Koboleti is going to be that city. Is that a river running south of the airport?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
And I'll give you an easier way to look at this. I mean, yeah, the map is useful, but you've got an in-cockpit map as well called the kneeboard, which I've handily mapped to your joystick on the throttle side.
All right. All right, so I just want to get an idea here, what we're doing here. Let me zoom all the way out, zoom all the way in. Okay, and there's another airport for all the way up at the top.
Yes, that will be Koboleti Airport. If we need to, we can take it out there, turn around there, and begin our ingress back to target if we don't get any hits on the first run.
Koboleti. All right,
You'll
cool.
also see those two lakes just to the west of Koboleti Airport. So keep an eye out for those. We use those as our markers.
Got it. All right.
I'm thinking our attack runs will be from north to south since they're on the south side of the airport.
Our attack runs will be from north to south. So we're gonna take off, fly past our targets, turn around, and make our passes. All right.
Right.
So what specifically? What are our targets?
Our targets are the following. There are three groups there. There are 10 Russian armor, so various tanks or AAVs, APCs, that kind of stuff.
Okay, stand by. Hang on. I can click on one of these targets and hit F7 and see what it is, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
you catch on fast.
All right. There we go. In this case, our target is a rocket launcher that looks like a
Where did you go?
Katyusha. Hang on, I'm just looking at the targets. Okay,
Oh, no,
cool.
no, no. That's not what I meant. I just looked at your plane and it just did something funky. You'll see it in my video.
Okay. All right, so that's okay. You don't need to give me a great detail of what all the targets are. I just wanted to get an idea as to what we're and they're not shooting back.
No, none of these will shoot back. On the right side, you will have all the armor. On the left side, you'll have artillery, and then there's infantry mixed in with that.
How much we'll have enough gas to make how many passes?
Last time I did a test run, I was able to stay up for about 30 minutes. As long as you are not constantly on max power, this thing can loiter for a little while. But that having been said, we are not exactly on full tanks.
Understood.
Because
Right.
the sucker's heavy.
All right. All right. So let's go back to the cockpit.
Okay, now let me know when you're in the cockpit.
I'm in the cockpit.
Kneeboard.
I'm in the cockpit. Okay, so the kneeboard.
All right, so the throttle side.
Uh-huh.
You know that little hat switch where your index finger naturally rests?
Yes.
Push it out, or push it down, in other words.
Okay.
You should see something pop up on the left side of the screen. That's your kneeboard.
Okay, hang on a second. On the left side of my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like an iPad, basically. So you want to push it
Okay,
away.
got it. I got it. I see it. Okay.
All right. That is where your actual flight plan is stored. It's not stored on the main map.
Right.
So if you want to mark your position, that same exact hat switch, pull it towards you. In other words, 12 o'clock, and you will see a little purple triangle that indicates your aircraft and where it's headed. So as you can see, we've got waypoint 1, we got waypoint 2. So we're going out to sea first.
Oh, okay. You can actually scroll through these pads
Yeah,
using
just
the
have-
right and left. Okay, so
Right.
how
So
can
if
I
you
zoom
go-
out?
If you go, you can't, not on the kneeboard.
Okay.
As you can see on the flight plan, we're going out to sea. We're going to hang a right. We're
Right.
gonna continue out to sea so that way they won't see us.
Right.
And then we're going to turn into the IP, which is over by where those little square lakes are that I told you about. That's
Right.
why that's important to remember that.
Right.
Once we get to those square lakes, then we're going to run on target.
Got it.
So we're going to turn almost due south.
Wait a second. Yeah, I can actually toggle through it. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, gonna come out. There's a turn there. There's the lakes. Target. Egress. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a zoom out. There's several views here.
Yeah, you've got different views on this particular kneeboard, depending on where you want to have it set.
Toggling through a whole
When it
bunch
comes
of
to
that.
sort of stuff.
Okay, I'm looking out my cockpit. I don't. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool.
Yeah, on your right side. All right, so we have an idea of what our flight plan is. So we're going to fly runway heading out to sea. We can check the flight plan every now and then. And remember, the hat switch, pull it towards you. It'll make a little purple V that'll tell you exactly where you are on the flight plan. So if you're off course, you'll see it.
All right, so the hat switch on the throttle, just pull it towards me.
Right, and that'll mark the mini-map. You have to have the mini-map open to see it, but it'll do it real time for you. So as long as you have your mini-map open and you just keep marking it, you can track your progress.
Got it. Okay.
It's real easy to use.
Okay.
All right, so we can close that. So 6 o'clock, push it away from you.
Got it.
And let's move to outside the aircraft, and we'll do a quick weapons brief here.
F2.
So,
Okay, I'm outside.
Yeah, F2, or it's also on your joystick.
Uh-huh.
Not the throttle, but the joystick. Hat 2, 12 o'clock position.
Hat 2, 12 o'clock. Got it.
All right, now let's take a look at the weapons that we've got here. We're going to ignore the 2 outermost pylons because those are air-to-air. We have no air-to-air targets, so we really won't be using them.
Okay.
I get in the habit of keeping them there because if I'm doing like a live mission or whatever on one of these multiplayer servers, I'm not getting my ass shot down by F-15.
All right.
So I keep those handy. And you can shoot down an F-15 with this. So going a little bit inward from those 2 sets of missiles, you're going to notice 4 bombs on each wing. These are FAB-100, stands for Fuel Air Bomb. Here's the trick with these things. Number 1, when they show up on your HUD, they show up as a circle with a dot in the center. That has a tendency of moving, so you literally have to aim the plane to where you want these bombs to drop, and you have to hold down the trigger. It'll turn into a little diamond, and you keep that trigger held until the bombs release. When it releases, it'll release all 8 of those bombs at once. There's no way to stop it.
Now these are fuel air explosives.
Yeah.
They're usually much bigger.
Well, these are Russian ones, so that's why they launch them 8 at a time. There's no way to do 1 at a time on these things. But they're really good if you got like a lot of infantry clumped up, which if you saw back at our target area, there's a lot of infantry clumped up. These will take these guys down in a flash, as long as we're on target.
Okay.
You might also be able to take out some of the artillery with it. I'm not so sure about the armor. I think the armor we're going to need the next item that's inboard on the wings. Those will be the Vickers. The Vickers are my absolute favorite. They're kind of like Russia's version of the Maverick, except not as technologically advanced. This is where the TV comes in handy. You're going to need the TV to, first of all, designate whichever target, and it will automatically jump to a target if you're close to it. Once you have that target designated and you have the LA on your HUD and on your TV indicating launch authorized, and of course Pitching Betty will say launch authorized as well. Then you're going to want to hit the laser designate, which I have that mouse to the, I have that mapped, I should say, to the throttle side. The blue button just below the big E at the top.
Yes. And it says laser designate, yeah.
Right. So that button will also turn on your TV, but you have to hit the pinky switch to do one or the other. I forget which one it is. We'll find out in a second. But yeah, I have both of those mapped to that particular button. You got to click on a laser designate before you fire any of these rockets. And the way to actually fire them, you'll see your target on the HUD. There'll be a bigger circle around it. Basically, you got to line up the circle on top of each other. Then you get launch authorization. You just click and fire. It'll fire 1 at a time, or if you want, you can set it to salvo mode, where it'll fire 2 at a time. That is Control V. I did not map that.
That's fine.
So you'll have to remember if you want to use it. Really, we only need to use 1 at a time, but on things like tanks, we might need to use 2 at a time. I've got a couple of tanks in there. We'll see how well we do when we try to take them out.
Okay.
And then the last weapon system that we have here, standard rockets, dumbfire rockets. You'll see 2 pods on the wings. And it's pretty standard stuff. Point your little circle where you want it to go. You hold down the trigger to launch all your rockets.
So the rockets, it's you don't launch them 1 at a time. It's all.
Yeah, that's all or not. Well, you can hold it down, and the longer you hold it down, the more rockets are going to get launched. So I try to be judicious with it. I'll do like a 1-second burst, and that'll launch maybe like 6 or 7 rockets. It'll launch some more. But you got to be on target, and you got to basically point the plane where you need it to go.
Got it. Now the fire button that's under the protective little thing. That's not what you use to release your weapons, is it?
No, we're going to be using the trigger in this particular aircraft. The fire button in this aircraft will change weapons, which I'll show you on the HUD what each weapon is for, like what the symbology of them looks like. It always cycles through your weapons automatically on this plane. So it'll start with bombs, and then it will go to rockets, and then it will go to the Vicker rockets, which are the guided rockets, TV guided.
Okay, so it starts with the bomb, then it skips over to the rockets, and then it goes to the Vicker.
Right.
All right, so when you hit the select weapon. All right, got it. Let me see here now. And to turn on the TV, you said was to hit the C button or the D button.
No, that's going to be O like Oscar. Or you can hit the D button on the joystick. Yeah.
Right, the D. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
To designate, you want to use pinky and D.
Designate pinky and D.
Actually, no. You know what? That's the other way around.
That says Fanta.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I forgot I changed that. Okay, so the D button is the laser designate, and to turn on a TV, just go ahead and hit O.
Oh, okay. Turn on TV, hit O.
Right.
All right, cool.
You can use the E button as well.
Okay.
The big, huge E button at the top, that'll turn on a TV. But
that's right. TV on and off. Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. That makes sense. All right. Now, obviously, let me ask you this. While we're flying, you have a button mapped to pause the simulator, right?
That would be pause break, and yes.
Okay, so if I, if I get a little bit overwhelmed and ask you to pause, you can pause.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, let's go back in the cockpit.
All right,
Go
so those
through
are
everything.
everything. We might not even need to use the guns, but if you want to use the guns, the
Uh-huh.
shortcut command for that is going to be C to turn them on. You've got limited bullets, and you'd be surprised how quickly this thing fires. So you really got to be Johnny on the spot to line this sucker up.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to go over. I think that is basically everything. So, oh, radio commands.
Uh-huh.
If on the off chance that we're having just way too much fun, but we're starting to run low on gas and need more ammo, we can come back here and
Uh-huh.
park in these spots, turn the engine off,
Uh-huh.
and we can use the radio commands. Now, on the throttle, you will see I have the little mouse button there, or you have a mouse button.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
mouse button you can push in. When you push it in, you should see something on the right-hand side that says main, F5 ATC, F8 ground crew, F12 to exit.
You want me, can I do that now?
You can if you want, but there's no point in doing that because we're already loaded up. So the only thing we're really going to do is we're going to do the ATC in order to get clearance to start up. But we don't have battery power yet, so
Okay, cool.
we can't do that. But I'm just telling you where that is.
Uh-huh.
You click it to open up the radio menu, then you press the corresponding F keys, and then you click it again to turn off the radio menu.
Right. Well, obviously it's not working now because it's not the plane isn't on. Okay.
Yeah, you need power before it'll do that. All right, so that's pretty much the major things. On the joystick, the two buttons to the right of the fire button,
Uh-huh.
the top button we will not be using. That's air-to-air mode.
Right.
But the bottom button we will be using. That's
Yeah, the
air-to-ground
ground
mode.
mode. Yes, I see that.
That'll switch from nav mode to air-to-ground, and then if you want to go back to nav mode, you press the number 1 on your keyboard, which I did not map to the joystick. There's just no point.
That's fine. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
hang on. Number 1 nav mode, which is the default mode.
Yeah, that's the default mode. There is a way to cycle through nav modes. Like if you really wanted to follow the autopilot, you can cycle through by pressing 1 again, and it'll give you your waypoints.
Uh-huh.
Don't do that. Just use the autopilot to keep yourself wing level, because you'll need that more than you'll need anything else.
And that's A. How do you, and so toggle A is toggle autopilot.
Yeah, that turns your autopilot on or off, and the autopilot depends on what nav mode is currently showing. So if you have the default nav mode, it'll just keep you wings level. If you've got the en route mode, which is following the flight plan,
Right.
it will do just that. It'll follow the flight plan.
Okay.
The reason why I don't like using that is real simple. If you're in the middle of a turn, you decide this thing is overcorrecting, and you take it off autopilot, all of a sudden you're out of trim, and you have no idea what the hell the plane was trimming.
Right.
So next thing you know, you lose control of your aircraft. Autopilot does come in handy, however, on approach and landings. You can cycle through one until it says RTN.
Mm-hmm.
RTN will automatically take you back to base. It'll take you, into the right position so that you can actually turn around and come in and land. And then LNDG, just like it sounds like, it's a shortcut for landing.
Uh-huh.
It literally will try to land this aircraft for you. Yeah, I know. Except if I'm on a Russian aircraft carrier, then I need it. All right, so that is basically everything that I can think of. So let's see if we can go ahead and get some power real quick here. I'm going to shift L.
Shift
L.
L. Okay.
And why is my parachute popping out? What the hell is going on? Oh, son of a...
Let me see.
You know what? I'm going to back out a second and start my plane over because, quite frankly, I do not think...
I'm looking. I don't see a parachute ejected.
Yeah, but it's going to be messed up when I get in there.
Oh, okay.
It
There's a
is...
slider.
No, it's past the side. It's on the top side where that POV button is. There's a mouse wheel, a scrolling mouse wheel.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Push it in. You see the radio menu pop up?
I'm pushing it in. I didn't even know you could push this button in. There it is. Okay.
Right.
All right, so I want
F5.
F5 ATC.
F1 for Batumi.
F1 for Batumi.
F3 request startup.
Do I have to do this?
Chevy 2.
No, you don't have to do it.
Request startup.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, cool.
Chevy 2-1. Batumi.
Where the hell are my repair guys? Why isn't my parachute fixed?
Meters per second.
Okay, cleared for startup. So how do I start this thing again?
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to do something here. Okay. I gotta hop back in this thing because...
Where the hell did your plane went away?
Yeah, I know. The
Oh,
reason
there you
why
are.
that happened is because of the stupid parachute. I needed to get it fixed, so I had to reset the plane. All right, so we got right shift L, so the power is on. Before we do anything else, let's put the lights on. There is a joystick shortcut for that. Hold down the pinky switch, and on your joystick side, flip the switch up to T5.
The joystick side, which height
You know
switch?
those little switches at the bottom of the.
Oh yes, 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 yes. T5 up.
The one on the right side. Hold down pinky switch and then flip that up.
Got it. Okay.
So that should turn your lights on as long as you're holding down the pinky switch while you do this.
Okay, are my lights on?
There you go. I see that.
Okay, cool.
Now, next item up for bids. That same exact switch. Now we're going to hold down the pinky and flip it down to T6.
What does that do?
Well, do it and find out.
Close the canopy. Okay, cool.
There you go. You catch on fast. All right. To start the aircraft, we're still staying with these little switches here. We want T1 and T3. In other words, both of those switches are going to go up, and you do need to hold down the pinky to do this.
Okay, hold on pinky. T1.
Yep, that should give you the left engine start. And then hold down pinky again, and T3, and that should give you the right engine start. Let me know when you're up and running.
Okay, those lights are supposed to come on.
They should.
It's not doing anything.
Let me take a look at your aircraft here.
71-1. Batumi, cleared for startup. Wind 125.
Not doing anything.
Meters per second.
I can hear your plane.
Yeah, mine is definitely starting up. I don't understand why yours is not.
Alright.
Oh, okay. Well, let's use the keyboard shortcuts for that then. I believe that is Control Home and Alt Home, Right Alt and Right Control Home.
Right Alt and right control home. Oh, here we go again. Hang on. There we go.
Alright, I see one engine coming on, and then the other one?
Well, you gotta wait for the first one to start up first, right?
No, not with the Russian planes. That's one of the differences between them at the same time. Like, both of mine are already up and running.
Now, what starts, just out of curiosity, what starts these engines? Is it a APU or is it just battery power and a generator or a motor?
I believe it's some kind of a JFS. I don't know if the real aircraft use GPU. But it seems like, at least modeled for DCS, it looks like it's a JFS, some kind of JFS.
1. Request taxi to runway.
Okay. Alright, I'm trying to... There we go. Now, so now, let me see here now. I'm on the outside, just go inside. Now, what can I look at to confirm that my engines are running? Those two thingies right there?
Yeah, oh, in the cockpit you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you've got those two gauges in the center near where
under the TV screen.
Silhouette of the aircraft is, right.
Under the TV screen, yeah, I see them.
Right, so
okay.
You should have both in the green right now.
Right.
And you'll see the fuel just to the right of that, which we have enough fuel for right now.
Okay, which one's the fuel gauge?
That is the vertical looking gauge.
Oh, that's a fuel gauge. So what the hell was I looking? Oh, those other two circular ones.
Right.
Where I'm in the green. Right.
Yes.
Yes. Those are my engines and those are the fuels.
3 and 4.
Okay. All right. So on the HUD, got my altimeter, got my airspeed indicator.
Yep.
These
which
gauges.
80 and 0R.
Right. And these gauges look kind of creepy. All right. Okay. So what's next? Taxi.
Well, if you want, you can go ahead and turn on your landing lights, which is pinky switch, and then that other blue button that's on the bottom side of your throttle. I think they call that the W button or something. Your brakes, by the way, are on that same button.
All right. Okay. So
it's one of the illuminated buttons that has the little thing going around it.
Right on the bottom.
Yeah. Hold
okay.
down
So
the pinky switch and then press that button.
Okay, are my lights on?
I'm looking to see if they're coming out. Yes, they are on.
How can you? Oh, the landing lights are on the wingtips.
Yeah, they're out. So I'm looking at you right now, and I can see them.
Damn Russians can't do anything right.
Now, remember that button that you just hit, because without the pinky switch, that's your brakes.
Without the pinky switch, that's W. Okay, cool.
Right. So you never have to worry about the landing lights. The landing lights will go up once the wheels go up. But you will need to use it for brakes, so yeah, keep that handy.
Got it.
Alright, so we're back in the cockpit again. I'm going to call for taxi clearance. We are going to tack to runway 31.
Okay, we're gonna taxi to runway 31. Is there a usable HSI on this thing?
Yes, there is. However, it is not something that you can click on.
Okay, I see it. I see it. Yeah, it's right by where my stick is.
Yeah.
All right. And so right now our heading, we're pointing to 31. So
Right, so we are on runway heading right now.
we're on
So
runway
this is
heading.
Takeoff.
All right. Well, I'll just follow you.
All right, well, I'm doing a wipeout real quick to make sure that my flight controls are doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I guess I should do the same.
Okay,
Stick
yes.
moves.
Rudder looks good. Ailerons look good. Elevators look good. All right. We might want to put our flaps down. I have that mapped to the center switch on your joystick. That would be T4.
Center switch on the joystick.
Remember those switches at the very bottom of the joystick of the...
Oh, right. T4.
Push the middle one down.
Okay. No pinky switch.
No pinky.
All right. Let's go outside and take a look.
Otherwise, they'll turn your engine off.
All right.
There's only one flap setting in this, but you got to remember to pull the flaps up after you take off.
And to pull the flaps up, just hit T3.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Gear, by the way, is T1 and T2. So we don't need to worry about it, but when we take off, we'll hit T1 to get the gear up.
Okay.
Okay, so you're looking good, I'm looking good, and I think it's about time to taxi. So
All
I'm
right.
going to come off the brakes. Well, actually, the brakes, there's no parking brake on this thing. Why, I have no idea. It's Russian. And we're going to taxi to 3-1. Bitching Betty may bitch if you have like high alpha or if you're on the ground. If so, try to ignore her. If it really annoys you, just hit right shift N to turn her off.
That's fine.
Okay, so as soon as I pass you, follow me. I'm going to be making a left here.
Got it. All right, here we go.
All right, now I'm taxiing, otherwise I'd be taking a look at you, so. I trust you're in the right place. And we're going to hold short on 31. Oh, got a little bit of feedback going on there. Pay close attention to how this HUD looks. It's kind of weird. You see how high off the horizon line it actually is where it says 0?
Uh-huh.
It's really weird like that. See, it's just an acquired taste. And then, of course, you know you're centered if those two little bank indicators are flanking the runway or whatever. Alright, so I'm going to hold short here. I do not know where exactly you are, but I'm going to...
I'm right behind you.
To the right here.
Right
I'm
behind.
pressing brakes now, so I'm holding short.
I'm right behind you.
Alright. Just a second so I can see you.
All right, so we're gonna climb to what altitude?
Initially, we're going to go to 500 meters. Eventually, we're going to go to 1,000 before we come off of runway heading and start heading towards the target.
Okay, so climb and maintain 1,000 meters.
Right.
That's about 6,000 feet. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, once you get there and we are on heading to the target, you can just click A, and like I said, it'll wing level. It'll hold you at altitude.
All right.
Did they give me clearance to take off? I know I requested it.
I didn't even ask clearance to taxi. All right, I want to make sure I don't back into you here.
Well, yeah, you're looking.
Whoa! Okay, this is my brakes right here. Okay, cool.
Yes, yeah, don't forget that.
Okay.
Alright. I think they will give us clearance anyway because we don't have a choice. So I'm going to mosey on out to the left side of the runway. You want to do a formation takeoff or you want to take off one by one?
We can do a formation.
Alright, then I'm going to head to the left side behind the piano keys here, and I'm going to line up in front of the piano keys.
Chevy 1-1, ready to clear for takeoff.
The hell you ain't! You better give us clearance.
Chevy 1-1, run to me. You are clear for takeoff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Climb 300 at USC 756.25.
Alright, right here should be good. And just to forewarn you, we will need all of this runway, so this is going to be a brakes down, throttles up kind of takeoff.
So in other words, what you're saying is hold the brakes, wait for the engine to spool all the way up, and then release the brakes.
Right.
All right.
The brakes will not hold you at full power, so put it to like 90% power, and then when we go, come off the brakes and just jam it to full power. Alright, now, lighting, I'll wait till you're lined up, but what I will tell you to do is to change the lights to flash. Right there is good. Go ahead and park right there. Brakes! Alright, there we go. Okay, so pinky plus T5 switch.
Okay, what? And that does what?
That changes your lightings to flash, your navigation lights.
Okay.
There we go, perfect. Leave it just like that because we're going to hit that again once we are actually taking off